seen giant monsters like Godzilla, massive enough to reach kilometers in height. But what if I told you there's a creature out there so insanely huge that its size is measured in light years? Yep, you heard me right. Light years. No, I haven't lost my mind. This is the real deal. And trust me, this isn't just another big monster. It's something straight out of a cosmic nightmare. Want to know what it is? Stick around to the end of the video because there is a monster you have to see to believe. But we have to start from Eren's skeletal Titan form, 240 meters from Attack on Titan. Eren Yeager's skeletal Titan form is beyond terrifying. At 240 meters, this guy towers over the other Titans like a mountain next to a molehill. Just to put that into perspective, Eren's hind legs alone are so massive, they actually stretch across entire oceans. If he's in Marley, you can still see him from Paradise Island. Seriously, and we're not even talking about his upper body yet. Now, if the Wall Titans were giants, Eren is like their god. His ribcage alone rises 4 times higher than those colossal creatures, and his spine towers right up into the clouds. Imagine looking up and still not seeing the end of him. It's a bone-chilling sight, no doubt, and that's just from the ribs up. As the biggest threat to humanity, or, you know, the entire world, Eren's skeletal form is like the ultimate boss level we all dread and love to see. And then there's Ikusatsunagi, 1,000 meters, Fairy Tail. The so-called battle god of Fairy Tail. This guy makes even Eren look kind of small because he stands at a staggering 1 kilometer. Yep, that's 1,000 meters, folks. For context, the tallest building in our world, the Burj Khalifa, doesn't even come close at 830 meters. The Ikusatsunagi isn't just tall. He's deadly, wielding a sword so big it could probably split continents. But he's on the wrong side of anime tropes. All that size and a godly title couldn't save him from the power of friendship and, of course, a determined shonen hero. So despite his terrifying size and that massive sword, this battle god had to take a back seat in the face of some classic shonen resilience. Dragon King Duras from Toriko. This creature is an absolute behemoth, standing at a mind-blowing 4,000 meters tall. That's 4 kilometers. At this height, Duras could probably make an entire city feel like it's living in his shadow. As one of the most powerful dragons in Toriko's universe, he's not just about size. He's about status. The Dragon King rules the world like a true king and could probably wipe out half the map with a single swipe. While the anime might not capture the full extent of Duras' size and power, the legend of this dragon continues to grow. He's the kind of creature you wouldn't want to cross paths with or even think about encountering. In the world of Toriko, it doesn't get any more colossal than Duras, the undisputed heavyweight champ in the world of anime monsters. One Punch Man's Elder Centipede might seem like a walking parody of giant monsters, but there's nothing funny about this beast's size. Clocking in at a whopping 5,000 meters, this centipede is so massive it stretches out like a creepy wriggling highway. Sure, it might not look quite as long in the anime, but that's the charm of this giant bug. It knows how to pack a punch without needing to exaggerate. Elder Centipede doesn't just slither around though. It's loaded with super strength, durability, and crazy speed for a creature as its size. Just when you think you've done enough to defeat it, bam! It regenerates like nothing happened. Oh, and let's not forget that it can burrow underground, moving like some kind of earth-shredding drill. The heroes of One Punch Man might be overpowered, but this centipede's a whole new level of nightmare fuel. Naruto has its share of beasts, but Genbu takes the trophy for largest turtle. This guy's 8 kilometers long. Genbu is like an entire moving island in the land of lightning, a gentle giant that lets ninja trainees use his massive back as their training ground. Imagine sparring on a dojo with actual trees, wildlife, and endless space to dodge and dart. No gym membership required here. This turtle shell is the ultimate outdoor workout spot. And Genbu isn't just lounging around. He moves, swims, and basically doubles as a cruise ship. The ninjas have the luxury of watching the world go by, thanks to Genbu's serene floating across the sea. You could say he's the coolest, most laid-back ride in the ninja world, letting everyone bask in the sheer awesomeness of training on an island-sized turtle. Let's dive into King Ghidorah, one of anime's biggest and most mind-blowing monsters ever created. We're talking about a beast so huge it practically blocks out the sun with those colossal wings. King Ghidorah isn't your average kaiju. He's a planet-destroying, universe-bending, 3-headed dragon whose size is measured in 10 kilometers. Think about that, 10 kilometers! Each head has its own personality, and they're all terrifying in sync, like a nightmare hydra that's come to destroy everything in its path. Golden scales, bat-like wings, 2 tails, and a body that slithers like a massive serpent make him a sight no one ever wants to see up close. In Godzilla the Planet Eater, Ghidorah is even scarier. Forget about just physical form, this version of King Ghidorah is pure energy. An extra-dimensional godlike entity that munches on entire planets like they're snacks. He's summoned to Earth by a fanatical alien civilization, the Exif, who see him as their ultimate deity. It's no wonder. Ghidorah controls gravity itself, literally twisting space-time to his will. When he goes up against Godzilla, it's not just a battle, it's an epic showdown for survival. Now, if you thought Genbu was big, Zunisha from One Piece will make you do a double take. Standing at a massive 35,000 meters, Zunisha's legs alone stretch high enough to leave skyscrapers looking small. This elephant doesn't just walk, its legs are like colossal pillars, holding up the entire island of Zou on its back. Forget about needing any skinny jeans though. Zunisha is mighty enough to swat ships aside like annoying flies with just a swing of its trunk. Zunisha is a traveler in the ocean, towering over waves as it carries its island crew through the waters. It doesn't seem to mind the occasional visitor settling up on its back either. If you're in One Piece and spot a mountain-like shape moving in the water, that's no mountain. That's Zunisha stomping along and letting people hitch a ride. Ever try measuring something that could be as big as Mount Everest? Or even bigger? That's the problem with angels in Neon Genesis Evangelion. These things don't play by any rulebook when it comes to size. Angels can extend their limbs, shapeshift, and reach heights that probably have clouds blocking the view. But here's the twist. Even though they're so massive, you can't just blast them with regular weapons. No angels laugh in the face of regular firepower. They can only be stopped by Evangelion mechs, and let's be real, they are already towering giants at 40 to 200 meters tall themselves. Yet most angels still dwarf these mechs, and if you thought they'd look cute for something that big, guess again. These things show up like nightmares straight out of an apocalyptic fever dream. When Odin, father of the Aesir, enters the battlefield in Yu-Gi-Oh!, he's not your typical monster card. This guy's so gigantic that when he's synchro summoned, he literally appears on the horizon, looming over everything like a walking skyscraper. Now, the Aesir gods, Loki, Thor, and Odin, are already a terrifying trio, but Odin takes size to a whole new level. While Loki and Thor look impressive, Odin's just massive. Imagine being so large that your revival doesn't even need fancy effects. He just descends from the heavens like, yeah, I'm here to crush some buildings. And Odin's weapon, it's so big, it's like he's swatting at targets miles away with ease. There's a reason he's called Father of the Aesir, and his sheer size alone commands respect and probably a little panic. Now, if creepy factor is what you're after, look no further than the God Hand in Berserk. They're not just big, they're in a category all their own. These supernatural entities represent the idea of evil, and they show up as monstrous, otherworldly giants. Their leader, Void, looks like he could squash an entire village just by staring at it. But what makes them even more terrifying is that their size isn't even fixed. They can shrink down to human-sized or expand to impossible heights whenever they want. So they're not just giants, they're shape-shifting terrors. When the protagonist faces off against these towering beings, it's like staring down an unholy force of nature, and the God Hand definitely does not disappoint in the sheer nightmare department. Dragon Ball Super. Yes, you heard that right. Super Shenron's length spans 57 billion light years. Forget dragons who can roast a village or take over a kingdom. Super Shenron is so big that his size could practically stretch halfway across the entire known universe. Now that's what you call making an entrance. This titanic dragon is summoned by Goku and his crew after they pulled off the ultimate scavenger hunt to collect the Super Dragon Balls. The reward? A dragon so long he could probably have his own orbit. Super Shenron is officially the biggest creature in the Dragon Ball universe, and by biggest, I mean he probably doesn't even notice galaxies as he floats through them like they're cosmic dust. Even Levi Ackerman, with his epic spinning moves, would tire out halfway across this behemoth. Super Shenron is massive, but he also delivers on power. Need an impossible wish granted? Shenron's got you. But the dragon this size is practically a god, so only the grandest wishes make the cut. With size comes great responsibility, or in Shenron's case, the ultimate cosmic flex. Okay, now we're reaching levels of absurdity that only anime can handle. The anti-spiral from Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann is on another level entirely. A multi-galaxy level to be exact. At 93 billion light years across, the villain is literally the size of the known universe. That's right, it could blanket the entire cosmos. When the anti-spiral faced off with the Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, it wasn't just another anime brawl. They were so large that they ran out of regular attacks and started hurling entire galaxies at each other. Yep, galaxies were their ammo. It's like a cosmic game of dodgeball, but with stars, planets, and black holes flying around. Nothing in anime has managed to match the outrageous scale of this showdown. Watching them square off is like seeing gods battle with the fabric of existence itself. It's a size that stretches beyond belief and makes every other giant monster look like a sidekick. And that wraps up our journey through the biggest monsters in anime, where size isn't just a number, it's a whole new world of awe and terror. If you enjoyed this wild ride through the giants of anime, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you never miss an episode. Thanks for watching, and remember, size matters in the anime universe. See you next time.